Welcome back to my channel. My name is Resha and we're going to engage in some delicious big backery today. So I don't really get an opportunity to eat breakfast often. I'm usually fasting, and by the time I do eat, it's usually like lunch or dinner time. So I really want something decadent and sinful, something comforting, something that's gonna widen my back just a little bit, just a skosh. So I'm gonna make a grits bowl. I'm gonna make some creamy, cheesy grits, and I'm gonna top it with maybe like sausage, onions, mushrooms. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. First things first, I'm gonna prep my veggies. I'm gonna chop up this onion and get my mushrooms. I might throw some spinach in there too. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how we're feeling. I'm adding my cream and water mixture to a medium-sized saucepan. The heat is not on yet. We're going to season it with this chicken bouillon powder. Now go easy on this because it's very salty. I'm adding some butter. This is salted butter. Now I've got the heat on and I'm about to add my grits. Now normally you would add the grits once the mixture starts simmering, but I actually like to add my grits before it starts to simmer. That way each grit is nice and coated and it's able to absorb this liquid the way that it's intended to. Now that the mixture is simmering, we're going to turn the heat to low and cover it and let it go for about 5 to 7 minutes. After 5 to 7 minutes, it's nice and creamy. It's thick the way it should be. We're going to give it a taste. Make sure it's good. It's super delicious and creamy. It burnt the shit out of my mouth. We're going to add a little bit more butter and some white cheddar. Make sure that whatever cheese you use, you grate it by hand. Trust me, it just melts better and it tastes better. I added about maybe a 1/3 cup total, but it's completely up to you how much cheese you want to add. We're going to taste it one more time, and then we're going to cover it and let it rest while we make our delicious sausage mixture. So grab a skillet and we're going to add a little bit of avocado oil. I love using avocado oil. It's got a really high smoke point. Once it's nice and hot, we're going to add our mushrooms. Stir the mushrooms around, make sure every piece is coated. Add a little bit more fat if you have to. Now I was starting to lose some sunlight because of this damn daylight saving time, so I had to add some artificial light here. I'm seasoning the mushrooms with some crushed red pepper flakes just to add a little bit of heat. Stir everything around. As you can see, we're getting some nice color on those mushrooms, and that's all that matters at this point. So once you add them, you're going to stir them around and let them sit for about 3 to 4 minutes until the color develops. Now I'm adding the yellow onion with a little bit of kosher salt to help draw out some of the moisture in the onions. Stir that around, and we're going to cook until the onions are softening a little bit, maybe about 2 minutes. I'm adding the breakfast sausage. I use the one in the tube, and I just cut the tube directly in half. So that's how much sausage I used for this situation here. And you're gonna break up your sausage into whatever size pieces you want. It really doesn't matter. It's completely up to you. Make sure that you're stirring all of the aromatics into the meat, breaking it down. If anything starts to stick, don't be afraid to add a little bit more fat. And I'm about to do that right now. So I'm adding a little bit more avocado oil just to loosen things up, add a little lubrication, make sure nothing's ashy. We're gonna cook this mixture until the meat is no longer pink. That's gonna take about 4 to 5 minutes. Now I'm adding the garlic. I cut the garlic into pretty big pieces because I didn't want it to burn. The smaller your garlic is, especially as you can see, I'm cooking this over pretty high heat. So I didn't want the garlic to burn. If it's too small, it'll do just that. So once the meat is no longer pink and everything is looking amazing, we're going to add our spinach. Now, I did not measure how much spinach, but I used about 2 big handfuls. You can use whatever leafy green you want to use. Spinach is one of those ingredients that just completely disintegrates into nothing. So just once you add it, stir everything around, fold the meat mixture onto the spinach to help it wilt. It's going to happen very quickly. I like to use baby spinach because it doesn't exude so much water. So just keep folding and stirring and cooking it down. And I'm going to add just a little bit of water, about 2 tablespoons or so, just to loosen that good, delicious stuff. It's called fond at the bottom of the skillet. And I added just a pinch more spinach because I was like, yeah, I want to add some more. I need some more. Now we're adding the balsamic vinegar. This is the good stuff. So make sure that you stir everything around so that that balsamic vinegar gets into every nook and cranny of this mixture. The balsamic vinegar is going to do a lot for this dish. This is a very rich and fatty dish so far, so the balsamic vinegar is going to cut through that richness with its acidity, and it's going to provide a little hint of sweetness. So we've got umami, we've got sweetness, and we've got acidity on a much needed dish. Because remember, this is going to go over those creamy grits. So now we're going to add about a 1/4 cup or so of heavy cream. Stir that around and make sure that it's enough. You don't want this soupy or swimming, but you just want it to be a nice gravy-like consistency. You can always add more, so just be modest in the beginning. So I'm going to turn the heat up to about medium because I really want this heavy cream mixture to reduce and thicken. And the only thing that we need at this point is just more heat. Once that starts to simmer and bubble away after about 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to notice that the cream is nice and thick. And once it's nice and thick, we're going to add our cheese. I'm using, again, white cheddar because why not? This is an aged white cheddar, so we're not gonna get a bunch of gloopy stringiness. Just, it's gonna melt beautifully into this mixture. Turn the heat off as you're doing this so that the cheese doesn't break. And give it a taste and make sure everything is all good. And once it's perfect, it's time to plate. This stuff is so good and so comforting. You can put this mixture over anything. It's even good on rice or pasta. So I've got this bowl and I'm filling it to the brim with those creamy white cheddar grits. Oh my God, they're so luscious. And because this is a big back meal, we're gonna add a little bit more butter because what is grits without butter? Like, go in with the butter. Top it with that creamy balsamic mushroom and sausage situation. Add a little bit of grated Parmigiano Reggiano to the top. Baby, listen, this is comfort in a bowl. You are going to love it. Customize it however you want. Oh my God, it's so, so good. Enjoy. Bitch, I will put anything over grits. I'll put your daddy over some grits, okay? This is exactly what I needed. This is so comforting and so good. The balsamic vinegar, don't skip that. It really breaks up the richness. Oh my God. I'm about to go sit my fat ass down, watch a movie, and eat this in pure bliss, okay?